Hello, welcome to Rastax. I'm Zakir Jacob. We're coming to you live from the CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Primetime studio. Former Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi has made an open defence of Khalistani separatist Amritpal Singh, who is a newly elected MP from Khadoor, Sahib in Punjab. The justification from Mr. Channi is that at least 20 lakh people have voted for Amritpal Singh in that constituency. They have elected him as their representative. But the question is, and it's a very simple and basic question, how can this be acceptable? And that too said in the floor of the parliament. A man who has openly called for the secession of Khalistan out of the Union of India, how can an elected chief minister endorse such a man? And that too, the chief minister of a party which lost one of its tallest leaders, Indira Gandhi, to that same Khalistan separatism. But first, the story of what was a heated exchange in Parliament set off by the comments made by former Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Channi.
बीस लाख लोगों द्वारा पंजाब में मेंबर पार्लियामेंट चुना गया और वो एनएस से लगाकर अंदर रखा हुआ है। फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच उसकी कंस्टिट्यूएंसी के लोगों की बात यहाँ नहीं रख पा रहे। ये भी इमरजेंसी है।
जिस प्रकार की सुख सुविधाएं या जो भी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के मुताबिक मिलना चाहिए वो हर व्यक्ति को मिलना चाहिए, चाहे वो मैं हूं, चाहे अमृतपाल है, चाहे कोई और है। और कानून तोड़ने का अधिकार किसी व्यक्ति को
देश के एज एमपी नहीं, देश के दुश्मन तरह यहाँ पे बात की है और देशद्रोही की तरह यहाँ बात की है।
कांग्रेस पार्टी आज अलगाववादी और खालिस्तानियों के समर्थन में उतर आई है। ये वही कांग्रेस पार्टी है जो संविधान की बड़ी बड़ी बातें करती है। क्या ये संविधान सम्मिलित है? क्या ये संविधान की रक्षा कर रहे हैं?
And we're just getting a clarification from the Congress party. The Congress has now distanced itself from the remarks made by Charanjit Singh Channi, the former Punjab Chief Minister. Jairam Ramesh, the head of the communications department of the Congress party, has tweeted, and I quote, "The views expressed by Charanjit Singh Channi on the Amritpal Singh issue are his own and do not in any way reflect the position of the Indian National Congress." So complete distancing by the official spokesperson, the head of the media department for the Congress party, from the position taken by Charanjit Singh Channi, the former Punjab Chief Minister, in the Lok Sabha today. So the Congress, I guess, responding in a sense to the backlash that these comments have caused, not just in Punjab, but perhaps more importantly in the rest of the country. Let's now open this up to our panelists who are joining us. Sanju Verma is National Spokesperson of the BJP. Raman Subramaniam is Spokesperson of the Punjab Congress. Hemant Atri, Senior Journalist, joining us. Mr. Subramaniam, let me start with you first as Spokesperson of the Punjab Congress. This is the report card, the charge sheet against Amritpal Singh, the person that your former Chief Minister was seemingly defending in Parliament today. In February 2023, Amritpal Singh led a mob to storm the Ajnala Police Station to free one of his aides. And then, after there was a massive police manhunt launched after him, he went on the run after a crackdown on his organization called Waris Punjab. In March 2023, he was booked for possession of illegal arms, booked for holding a sarpanch and his entire family hostage. He was booked for threatening and extorting a Gurdwara priest. And in April of 2023, after a month-long search, manhunt, which involved a number of states and a number of state police forces, eventually he was nabbed and he was slapped with stringent provisions of the National Security Act. Why does a former chief minister, an elected chief minister, want to defend such a man?
I think if you could play just, I think, few seconds more of Channi Saab's speech, everything would have been clear. He was speaking about the state of emergency, undeclared emergency that is happening in the country. he was not supporting Amritpal as such. He was trying to convey that message that Amritpal has been booked under NSA, which is a Preventive Detention Act. But the real FIRs which you just not told, there are, I don't know if you or any of your panelists even know that how many FIRs are there on Amritpal and when did they happen? You see, if you can just tell me the number of FIRs, then I can confirm, I can elaborate better upon that.
Sir, there are multiple FIRs that have been lodged against Amritpal. There are two that have been lodged in February of 2023. There were at least three that was lodged in March 2023. And then finally the NSA charges, the national security charges, were slapped against him in April 2023.
Sir, I have that entire list, but just can you tell me the total number of FIRs?
So I'm just giving you the total number of FIRs. Two in February, three in March, one in April.
So that means you have come unprepared for the debate.
Mr. Subramaniam, you are holding on to semantics. I've given you not just the number of FIRs, I've given you the charges for which he has been booked.
In fact, you should have played at least 1 minute more of Mr. Channi's debate.
I'll tell you what he said. 20 lakh voters chose Amritpal in the Lok Sabha polls. That is factually incorrect. 20 lakh voters are the strength of an entire Lok Sabha constituency. 20 lakh voters don't choose one candidate. Number one. Number two. I'm telling you, asked me what Channi Sahib said. I'm giving you verbatim what Channi Sahib said. Why don't? Arey sir, have the patience to listen to. You have asked a question. Please have the patience to listen to the answer. This is what Channi Sahib said, and I quote, 20 lakh voters chose Amritpal in the Lok Sabha elections. Factually incorrect. Second, Amritpal is in custody under NSA. Amritpal's freedom of speech is stifled. Now, if somebody is booked under National Security Act, I don't think freedom of speech trumps over National Security Act for somebody who is wanted for grave crimes against the state. You want me to play the Channi bite again? I'll play the Channi bite again. Sorry, this is indefensible coming from the spokesperson, sir, of a party that lost one of your tallest leaders to the same philosophy that Amritpal represents.
You don't want to really understand my question.
I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you.
What I'm trying to tell you
Please
is
give me a justification
what I'm trying to
for
find
why
out is
you are
that
trying
in
to
what
defend a man whose ideology took the life of one of your prime ministers.
Exactly. You are basically playing to the gallery. You are playing a narrative which all these media channels have been playing.
What gallery do I need to play to?
I'm asking you a simple question. Tell me, before he mentioned this Amritpal's issue, what was he speaking about?
Okay, you want me to play Channi Saab's bite? Let me play Channi Saab's bite. No, 1 second. Let us play what Channi Saab said today in Parliament for Mr. Subramaniam's benefit. Second time that I'm playing on the show tonight. Yeah, let's play it. Let's play it. Let's play it. Sir, let's play it. You asked for it, let's play it. Arey sir, let's play the bite. You asked for the bite, let the bite play. Let the bite play.
20 लाख लोगों द्वारा पंजाब में मेंबर पार्लियामेंट चुना गया और वो एनएस से लगाकर अंदर रखा हुआ है। फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच, उसकी कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी के लोगों की बात यहां नहीं रख पा रहे, ये भी इमरजेंसी है।
Freedom of speech of the members who elected him in his constituency, he is not able to present their case in Parliament. Therefore, this is also a form of emergency. I just played the bite.
ठीक है, अभी मेरे को लगता है आपको समझ नहीं आ रहा है, तो हिंदी में समझाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ। इससे पहले वो ये बोल रहे थे कि आप जो भी कर रहे हैं अनडिक्लेयर्ड इमरजेंसी के दौरान, इमरजेंसी का एक्ट है और उसमें ये भी एक एक्ट अनडिक्लेयर्ड इमरजेंसी है।
जो आदमी पुलिस स्टेशन को स्टॉर्म करेगा, जो आदमी पुलिस वालों के खिलाफ गोली चलाएगा, जो एक सरपंच और उसके फैमिली को अबडक्ट करेगा, ये सब ठीक है, लेकिन उसको जेल में एनएसए के अंदर रखना वो गलत है। Sanju Verma, please respond. Let me also underline for the benefit of our viewers, what are the other charges against Amritpal Singh? Suspected links to ISI, accused of plotting to destabilize Punjab, suspected links to Khalistan terrorist Avtar Singh Khanda, who lives in the UK, accused of recruiting youth from drug rehabilitation facilities and using them in violent protests, using these drug rehab facilities to reportedly store firearms that have been smuggled from Pakistan. This is the charge sheet against Mr. Amritpal Singh, the same person Channi Sahib today defended on the floor of the parliament.
You know, Zaka, first and foremost, let me say this, that Ravneet Singh Bittu, who's the MOS Railways and MOS Food Processing, he gave a karara jawab on the floor of the house to Charanjit Singh Channi. इससे बेहतरीन जवाब कोई दे नहीं सकता था. And people asked us, why did, Ravneet Singh Bittu get a prominent position in the Modi 3.0 cabinet? And today you had your answer. Ravneet Singh Bittu is the face of anti-Khalistan narrative, which the BJP wants everybody to be aware of, because don't forget that, your audience, I'm sure, knows this, but for the benefit of those who don't, Ravneet Singh Bittu's Dadaji grandfather, Biyam Singh, was assassinated in 1995 by Khalistani terrorists. Point number one. Now, after what Ravneet Singh Bittu said, not much needs to be elaborated upon, but I will just make a few very quick points. First and foremost, as Zaka has very, lucidly elaborated, 20 लाख लोगों से जीते नहीं थे. जो चरणजीत सिंह चन्नी ने नंबर्स दिए, आंकड़े दिए अमृतपाल सिंह के लिए, वो सरासर गलत हैं. इनफैक्ट आई डाउट कि पंजाब की किसी लोकसभा कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में पॉपुलेशन 20 लाख की है. इवन इन मुंबई, which has a population of 2.5-3 odd crores, the maximum electorate in a particular constituency is not more than 7 to 8 lakhs. But that is besides the point. The moot point is this, कि खालिस्तानियों के साथ कांग्रेस क्यों खड़ी है? Zaka, I did not heckle. I don't want to be disturbed.
Yeah, Mr. Subramaniam, एक second, Mr. Subramaniam, 1 second. Let her finish. Let her finish, please. I gave you enough time. It's only fair that I give her also time, please.
No, you don't.
I listened to you for 8 minutes. Mr. Subramaniam, I listened to you for 8 minutes. Now, please allow me my rebuttal. I don't need your interjections or certificates. Thank you so much. My first point, and the most important one, Ravneet Singh Bittu is the anti-Khalistan face from the BJP's end. Point number 2, he gave a brilliant rebuttal to Charanjit Singh Channi. Point number 3, Charanjit Singh Channi is a repeat and habitual offender. I hope, Zaka, you remember, the day was 5th of May 2024. Barely a few months back, during the midst of a hectic election campaign, we saw that an Indian Air Force IAF convoy was attacked in Rajouri and Poonch areas, and we lost 2 of our bravehearts and half a dozen were injured. What was the statement from Charanjit Singh Channi? Because I remember I did debates on this. Charanjit Singh Channi said, अरे Rajouri और Poonch में तो IAF convoy पर कोई अटैक हमला हुआ ही नहीं है. ये मोदी सरकार की स्टंटबाजी है. The term Charanjit Singh Channi used for our martyrs was, ये तो स्टंटबाजी है इलेक्शन जीतने के लिए. जैसे मोदी जी ने पुलवामा की स्टंटबाजी की, वही स्टंटबाजी ये रजौरी और पूंछ को लेकर कर रहे हैं. सो चरणजीत सिंह चन्नी इज अ रिपीट ऑफेंडर. चौथी बात, चरणजीत सिंह चन्नी जो कहते हैं अनडिक्लेयर्ड इमरजेंसी, देयर इज नो अनडिक्लेयर्ड इमरजेंसी. एक ही बार इमरजेंसी डिक्लेयर हुई थी 1975 में जून 25 को, देन इंदिरा गांधी इंपोज मीसा. 6.5 करोड़ लोगों को जबरन आपने उनकी नसबंदी करवा दी. तो यहां बैठकर फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच के बारे में भारतीय जनता पार्टी को भाषण मत दीजिए. बट माय मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट इज दिस, Zaka, I need to say this because he made a lengthy rebuttal. Look at the Congress's attitude, especially Jairam Ramesh, because you quoted him and Jairam Ramesh has an opinion on everything under the sun. When Sam Pitroda in 2019 said कि अरे 1984 में सिखों के गले में टायर लगा के उनको जिंदा जला दिया गया था, what do you think about it? हुआ तो हुआ. इनहेरिटेंस टैक्स के बारे में बोलने के बाद when he faced the heat, Jairam Ramesh said that is Sam Pitroda's personal opinion. हुआ तो हुआ. Very recently, when Ajay Kumar, the national spokesperson of the Congress, said Draupadi Murmu is the evil face of RSS, when the Congress faced heat, Jairam Ramesh said हुआ तो हुआ, ये तो Ajay Kumar का personal opinion है. And I remember when the ex-CDS Bipin Rawat, who's unfortunately no more in our midst, when Sandeep Dixit, the son of Sheila Dixit, called Bipin Rawat sadak ka gunda, Jairam Ramesh ne bola hua to hua, ye to Sandeep Dixit ka personal opinion hai.
Okay.
There is nothing called personal opinion. Charanjit Singh Channi is a member of parliament.
Let me go to, one second, let me go to Hemant Atri, please. Hemant Atri, I'm going to list out some instances where the BJP has accused the Congress of siding with what are called separatists or soft separatists. In 2024, for the recently concluded elections, there was a Karnataka Congress leader who said that the Karnataka Congress took the help of SDPI, as we all know. SDPI is a banned organization, PFI is a banned organization. SDPI's support for the Lok Sabha polls. In 2022, it had given a ticket to Sidhu Moosewala, who has openly sung songs, who's a Khalistan sympathizer for the Khalistan cause. In 2018, Navjot Singh Sidhu, who at that time was the Punjab Congress chief, went to Pakistan, gave a bear hug to the then Pakistan Army Chief, General Bajwa. This was at the oath ceremony of his cricketer friend, former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan. Then when Manmohan Singh was in power, there were multiple outreaches to the Hurriyat, including meetings between then PMO officials and the Hurriyat leaders. And at that time, there was even a 3-member committee, a peace-finding committee that was formed by the Manmohan Singh PMO to discuss with the Hurriyat. Now, the point is, why is the Congress party, and let's specifically talk about Punjab, they lost Indira Gandhi to Khalistan separatism, they lost Bian Singh to Khalistan separatism. Why is the Congress party and a former chief minister of that party at that, no less, seemingly defending a man who is in a jail in Dibrugarh under stringent provisions of the National Security Act?
Zaka, you have to see 1, 2, 3 things before going into this whole debate. Why is Congress restricted to 99 seats? There must be certain solid reasons for that. And one of the severe most reasons for this is the people, loose-tongued people like Mr. Charanjit Singh Channi. What he has done today, and basically what my Congress friend is trying to do, he is trying to defend the indefensible. Can you please tell me who is above the law and constitution in this country? Forget about an MP. Is any minister, chief minister, or for that matter, prime minister is above the law? Only 2, President of India and Governor. They have got a constitutional immunity as far as legal position is concerned. Now, coming to the specific point of Mr. Amritpal. When was NSA case lodged against him? It was far before once he was elected as MP. And law is taking its own course. So why cry on this? Why to, collaborate it with the freedom of speech, this and that, whatever. See, we have to see one thing. People like Charanjit Channi, they have been a huge embarrassment right from the day he was made the chief minister of the state. What he did, first of all, one of his relatives, his residence was raided by one of the central agencies, and there was huge amount.
This is not the issue, sir.
Subramaniam ji, please give me.
One second, I'll come back to you. Let him finish his point. I'll give you adequate time, sir. Please. Let him finish his point. But Hemant, I want to come back to this whole defense of, forget about, what Channi Sahib has said in the past and his idiosyncrasies and all that. Wo to chhod dijiye aap. I'm asking a very simple question. Is there a section, and this is not just in the Punjab Congress, but maybe even in the Aam Aadmi Party and other political parties in Punjab, mainstream parties in Punjab, who feel that by riding on the bandwagon of Amritpal, it may endear them to a certain constituency, a constituency of young people who may subscribe to this ideology?
Precisely, Zaka, you got it right. See what is happening in Punjab for last about 2 decades, and who have been running the whole state. Congress Party, Shiromani Akali Dal, Aam Aadmi Party, and what is the net outcome of that? Where they have led the Punjab state where it is today. Very few specific questions. Unemployment, international immigration, the way it is hugely going on there. Who is responsible for that? All these parties, they basically are, and what is happening in Shiromani Akali Dal? Can you believe? Shiromani Akali Dal, its chief, Mr. Sukhbir Badal, was yesterday called by SGPC on the highest temporal body. Why? There are certain religious issues. And everybody who basically...
We are discussing the issue today, sir.
Okay.
I am sorry, sir.
Subramaniam ji.
Either you should have briefed both of these. I have
No.
just come
Okay, Mr.
specially
Subramaniam.
only
Now,
on
you
Amritpal
please answer the question. Please
Yeah.
answer the question. Why,
Yeah.
after having lost a former prime minister, a former chief minister, is someone in your party seemingly defending a man who speaks not just against the Indian state, who speaks of seceding from the Indian state, who has multiple cases lodged against him? Why are you defending him?
No, we are not. I think Jairam Ramesh ji has clearly distanced about this statement. But what I am trying to tell you is that you have twisted the entire story. You have deleted the prelude to this a statement, and then you have built on you have woven
Okay. So you are saying the prelude. You are saying one second. You are saying that the
you
prelude.
interrupt so much.
Sir,
Please, if you
sir,
want to call
sir,
me on your
I am hearing you. I'm hearing
let
you.
me finish. Let
Okay.
me finish.
Okay, finish.
No,
What
let
is
me
this,
finish.
Raka?
Okay, finish.
Please let me finish, Jacob. You can then you can give your reaction. So what I am trying to tell you is that Mr. Chennai was not trying to defend Amritpal. Amritpal, for whatever loopholes or whatever has happened, he happens to be now an elected MP from Khadoor Sahib. This has happened within the framework of Constitution. And now what he was trying to tell you is that those people of Khadoor Sahib, the number may be wrong, it may not be 20 lakh, it may be just 4 lakh or 5 lakh who have voted for him. Nevertheless, he represents a constituency.
Okay.
So how are those?
So can I ask you a question? No, one second. You are saying a certain number of people have elected him. Okay, therefore his crimes have to be condoned. Now I am asking you, there used to be a time. No, 1 second. Hear me out. 10 seconds. There used to be a time in Bihar, for example, where Bahubalis used to get elected, Shahabuddin and others.
Exactly.
They had multiple criminal cases against them. Is it your case that those cases have to be kept in the back burner or those cases should be forgotten because देखो 5 लाख people ने उनको इसको elect किया है या 10 लाख people लोगों ने इसको elect किया है? That is your logic. That is your logic.
That's what I am trying to tell you, Jacob. There are 12 FIRs against him, and not one investigation has been completed. Not one criminal, not one challan has been presented to the court. There is no trial to start as yet. There are 34 more people who are languishing in jails who are booked with him.
So you are defending his case. You are defending his case.
Now you are trying to tell us
you are defending his case that despite having 12 FIRs, it should be condoned, it should be put in the back burner, it should be forgotten because the trial has not begun. And because certain number of people have elected him. ये कहाँ का logic है ये? संजू वर्मा.
मैं आना चाहती हूँ डिबेट पर. Thank you. अरे भाई साहब शांत हो जाइए. Zaka, what kind of a debate is this? Your debates are so sane.
Sanju Verma.
Your debates are so sane. I don't know why is he intervening when anyone is talking. He starts butting in. शांत हो जाइए भाई साहब. आपको इतना बोलने का मौका दिया. दूसरे भी है ना डिबेट पर. आपको सुनना भी पड़ेगा. सिर्फ बोलना नहीं है डिबेट में. Now, Zaka, I want to just say one thing. I think you made a very important point reading between the lines. Actually, this should be the main narrative. Imagine now a member of parliament on the floor of the house says that he supports a Khalistani who's lodged in jail. And ये तो NSA ने उसको वहां बंद कर दिया है. ये undeclared emergency है. Charanjit Singh Channi has given directly, not indirectly, a clean chit to Amritpal Singh. And he's mollycoddled the pro-Khalistani narrative on the floor of India's parliament. Charanjit Singh Channi is a MP. He's the ex-chief minister of Punjab. He's not some small guy. He's a responsible politician who's chosen to be brazenly irresponsible today. Point number 2, I don't understand this narrative, Zaka. Each time some senior leader from Congress says something, the head of Congress's communications team, Jairam Ramesh, he starts yapping and saying, अरे ये तो इनका पर्सनल ओपिनियन है. अरे भाई साहब, मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट फ्लोर ऑफ द हाउस पे अमृतपाल सिंह को सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, खालिस्तानी टेरर को सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं. हाउ ऑन अर्थ कैन यू से दैट दिस इज चरणजीत सिंह चन्नी's पर्सनल ओपिनियन? And last but not the least, this is the same Congress party. Zaka, 1 minute. After 26/11, What did Digvijay Singh say? ये तो RSS की साजिश है. This is the same Congress party after Batla House encounter of 2008. Sonia Gandhi did not shed copious tears for Mohan Chand Sharma, our martyr who lost his life. She shed copious tears for Indian Mujahideen. This is the same Congress party which, after the Samjhauta Express blast, after the Chinnaswamy Stadium blast of 2010, after the Pune Bakery blast of 2010, after the Ahmedabad bombings of 2008, said कि इंडियन मुजाहिदीन की तो गलती है ही नहीं. Radical Islamist terror is a figment of BJP's and RSS wild imagination.
Okay.
So the Congress has been mollycoddling terror outfits.
I have to wrap up. I'm very clear. Mainstream political parties should have no business endorsing the likes of Amritpal Singh. He represents a violent, secessionist, separatist ideology. And there is no reason why anybody in the mainstream, let alone a former chief minister, should come across as defending him. I'm glad that the Congress's media in charge has distanced the party from these comments. But let's see if any action is taken against Mr. Channi. I want to thank all our guests on the first debate who joined us. We'll now move on to our second topic. And this is, again, concerning Karnataka, where there is now massive pressure on the Karnataka Chief Minister, Mr. Siddaramaiah, put by the opposition BJP. The BJP wants him to resign over the Muda scam. The BJP's contention is that Siddaramaiah's wife got prime property in Mysuru in lieu of agricultural land that was owned by her and some of her close associates. Siddaramaiah has been defiant. He's been digging his heels in, saying that all the paperwork is above board and there is nothing wrong in the transaction. He also says, for good measure, that this so-called scam happened when the BJP was in power. BJP is not relenting. In fact, last night, all BJP MLAs camped out inside the Vidhan Sauda. They were seen sleeping there in their duffel bags with their blankets and bed sheets and all of that. And today again, they sloganeered and raised their voices against Siddaramaiah, wanting him to step down on the back of this Muda scam. So then the question is, what is going to give? Remember now, the BJP is saying that they will undertake a Padyatra from Bengaluru to Mysuru. And the Congress is going to counter that with an opposite Padyatra that will come from Mysuru to Bengaluru. So between an attacking, relentless BJP on the one side and a defiant Siddaramaiah on the other, what will possibly give?
Opposition party demanding for discussion. They are avoiding discussion shows prima facie case that they are culprit.
तो स्वयं मुख्यमंत्री खड़े होके लूट रहा है कर्नाटक सरकार के पैसे को. We have already demanded Mr. Siddaramaiah should step down.
SIT is taking an investigation. Now ED, CBI has entered. We said we are not able to stop them. They have right to come.
All CBI, ED, Income Tax, Election Commission, even all other institutions are demoralized by BJP government.
All right, Madhu N. Rao is spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP. Nizam Faujdar is spokesperson of the Karnataka Congress. R.K. Upadhyay will also be joining us. He's a senior journalist tracking Karnataka for a number of years now. Mr. Nizam Faujdar, let me start by asking you, this is the charge against the Chief Minister in the Muda scam, that documents were forged to obtain high-value plots. A complaint was filed as far back as 2013 against the Chief Minister, his wife and 9 others. The allegation is that property owned, agricultural land owned by the Chief Minister's wife in the outskirts of Mysuru were sold to a government entity, in lieu of which the MUDA, which is the Mysore Urban Development Authority, gave her prime commercial real estate in the heart of Mysuru. Now, please explain why the Chief Minister is not clarifying his position on this, and why the Chief Minister and the government are not allowing a discussion in the Assembly on this alleged scam.
Zaka, the case is very clear. The BJP seems to have no other political, the plot other than just blame game. The documents which are being produced today is in open public in the last 10, 50, 10, 12 years. The BJP government, which was run by Mr. Bommai, has allotted the sites in the Muda to the chief minister's brother and wife, which is done by the government of the BJP today. But they are not talking of the scams that the BJP has done in the Karnataka. The 6.6 lakh hectares of land which was denotified by Mr. Ashok as a revenue minister is basically absconding from that discussion. Today they are basically trying to put the government down just by saying that there's a Muda which has happened, the Muda scam which has happened. The question today is, how did this land get the what do you say, the allotted to X party by the BJP government, and today when they are in the opposition, they are raising havoc as if the whole world has come to
No, but Mr.
Fawzat,
let's discuss that also. You opened it up in the assembly. Have a discussion. When they attack you with Muda scam, you attack them with what you'd say is Mr. Ashok denotifying land. Why are you not allowing the discussion to happen in the assembly?
We are very clear. Though. Let them discuss as much as they want. But they are simply trying to put the whole blame on the Congress's government, which is not right and which is not correct.
Okay.
This has happened in the BJP's government tenure, and the BJP needs to answer how did this happen? How did they do it? Why did they do it? And why are they even asking that question
Let me ask. Let me ask Madhu N. Rao. The Congress's contention, and the Chief Minister said this on multiple occasions. The initial paperwork for this was moved way back in 2013 when the BJP was in power. The allotment happened not when Siddaramaiah was Chief Minister. And finally, the land, this exchange, happened again not when the Congress party was in power. So then, for you to raise this now, 10 years later, is rather rich.
Zaka, good evening. I think my friend, the Congress spokesperson must have been tutored to talk in a particular way. But let me tell, why are we going 2013? Give me a minute. I will tell the history from 1991. Let me tell this. 1991, 1992, there was a 4-1 notification. It's a preliminary notification of the land acquisition which take place. And the land belonged to one person called as Ninga. He is a ST person, scheduled tribe person. And the land was granted to him under 1980s. 1997, there was a final notification which took place. After 1997, Siddaramaiah, who is now the Chief Minister, was the Deputy Chief Minister from 16/5/1996 to 22/7/1999. Why did he denotify the land in 1998 is the first question which we are posing. He is talking about the 100th step. I am asking the first step in 1998. How could he denotify when the land belonged to Muda and all the money has been given and the award has happened? He was Deputy Chief Minister from 28/5/2004 to 5/8/2005. And what happened during that time? There was an allotment, rather to say, of the land from Muda to Mallikarjun, who is the brother-in-law. How could there be a Muda coming in the RTC? I mean, once the property belongs to Muda, that is done. What is the Congress government is very clear that they want to usurp the land whenever they are in power. There have been a number of violations which has taken place during this period.
But Mr. Rao, in 2013, when Yediyurappa was in power, that's when the actual allotment happened. So how do you explain that? And what were you doing between 2013 and 2024? It's 11 years now.
We are talking of 80th step and 89th step without even talking about the first step. How would we know in 2013 that
they
this
have
has
no
happened?
question, they have no answer.
One second, let him finish.
Kindly listen to me, sir. Kindly listen to me, sir. The point of fact is, how could Mr. Mallikarjun even give the property to wife of Siddaramaiah on 2010 when it was not your property?
Sir, they are brother and sister. Within family members, you can give property.
Come on. It was not your property because it was the property of Muda. The question is, Zaka, it is very simple. The Chief Minister, Mr. Siddaramaiah, who claims to be the custodian of the Constitution and he takes oath under the Constitution, has done this whenever he was a Deputy CM and CM.
I mean, this is really shocking.
Okay.
A person who's champion of SC/ST cause can take away
Let
the
me
land
ask
of an
R.K.
SC/ST.
Upadhyay, you know, the moot point is what is the politics of it and what is the political fallout of this? Siddaramaiah generally is, at least his political perception is that he personally, there have not been any great allegations of corruption against him. He's been in public life for a large number of years now. This is perhaps the first time that his direct family members, his wife's brother, are directly under the lens for this parcel of land. Does his defense that this was allotted when the BJP was in power cut ice? And more importantly, is the Chief Minister facing the heat from the BJP, asking him to step down, or does he still have both the support of a large majority of his MLAs and the support of the High Command? Is his kursi under threat, is the question. Yeah. R.K. Upadhyay.
His kursi is definitely under threat because I feel that, it's for the first time that he's facing a allegation of this nature against him. So, there have been some certain allegations when he was in power in 2013 to 19 also. We know that Arkavati denotification was a scam, but that was not him personally involved. Here, his family members and the facts of the case have not been denied. Mr. Siddaramaiah himself has admitted that his wife Parvati has taken 14 sites in lieu of those land that was taken by Bermuda and all that. So those facts are known. But why did he allow this to happen? And what was he doing that, when he was in power? Okay, he says that, this land was allotted when BJP was in power. But then he has been in power between 13 and 18 and then again now. So how did he allow this thing to happen? And when the whole thing came into the open, and also I would like to go into how this thing has come out now. Soon after the Lok Sabha elections were over, there was a demand from Shiv Kumar's side that, Siddaramaiah should step down and make way for Shiv Kumar to take over the chief ministership. This came from Vokkaligas here, Mr. Chandranath Swamiji. So, immediately after that, we find two scandals tumbling out of this government. One was this Valmiki scandal and this Muda scandal. And this Muda has been there for more than 20 years. It is not just Siddaramaiah's wife who has been a beneficiary. There have been hundreds of beneficiaries who are all VIPs. Now, if only Siddaramaiah wants to get clean sheet out of this, what he should do is, I feel, that he should say that, look, he has set up a judicial inquiry, asked the judge to conduct an inquiry. He has given him 6 months' time. Now, ask the judge to give him a preliminary report in the next 2-3 weeks. And if there are irregularities as far as this allotment is concerned, he should surrender those sites. He should simply surrender those sites and then hold a detailed inquiry, ask the judge to find out what all has happened for the last 2 decades. And if there are irregularities involving other people also, cancel all those allotments.
The problem, Mr. Faujdar, the problem is it's not just this Muda scam. Just recently, this Valmiki board scam, 187 crore tribal fund illegally transferred, illegal transfer of government money to private firms. The then minister, Mr. B. Nagendra, had to resign because of the political blowback from that. There's also the allegedly plastic recycling scam, recycling of 3.5 lakh tons of plastic. Fake certificates were allegedly used. The Central Pollution Control Board has said that the units were not operational at the time of issue. The health habitat scam, allocation of 600 crores to the State Health Habitat Center. The charge is that the organization lacks any kind of constitutional recognition. The BJP has also alleged that there was a rice procurement scam in the Annabhagya scheme, which is one of your flagship schemes. BJP is saying there are 120 crores of scam. Rice was procured at 2 different prices, and the difference in that money was pocketed by Congress leaders. Please respond. It's not one, it's a series of corruption allegations.
Zaka, these scams, the allegations that are normally thrown by the BJP are just like the bubbles, which shines in the first few seconds and first few minutes, and then it just bubbles out. The question today is, that who were the ones who allotted these sites and how it was done, why it was done. The inquiry will take place. We will make sure all the papers are in the public domain. The second part, when they are saying there is a plastic recycling, please ask Mr. Rao who was in the government when they allotted these certificates. He will not be able to answer. It was allotted by the same chairperson who was nominated by the BJP, and he's still fighting a case, and he's sitting in the chair without without moral ground. It was a scam which was done by the BJP, and that they are saying it is done by the Congress's government. I think that is extremely wrong. And Mr. Rao also needs to tell that why 6.6 hectares of land which was denotified by Ashok. Why are they not answering that?
Mr.
They
Rao,
also need to answer.
that's not the only charge against the BJP. There is the 40% Commission Sarkara charge. Many say that was one of the reasons why your party, your government lost power. The molasses scam, a firm sought nod to export 200,000 tons of molasses. The Congress claiming that Mumbai government helped that private firm. Corruption in the education department. The school's body wrote to the Prime Minister alleging there's corruption in the education department. So it's not like you have covered yourself in glory either, Mr. Rao.
Zaka, fair enough. My friend was mentioning that. I just want to correct on factual aspects.
One second, let Mr. Rao respond. Yeah.
In 2013, allotments have done. Now let me correct the facts. In 2017, application was made to MUDA, and the decision was made to give the alternative land in 2017. Now, be it as it may, the question is, you're talking about the 40%. What did the High Court of Karnataka say? Do you know? One of the contractors went to the court, and the court, they argued, the government was arguing that there was a committee which is set up. Since so many months, even a chair and table have not been put for investigating as to what is 40%. Now, is this the way of investigating in Karnataka, by the way? Don't we know what has happened in Valmiki? Hasn't the Chief Minister on sir, kindly sir, don't disturb me, please.
Sir, please, one at a time, please.
Please, don't act like you're in assembly, please. The point is simple. The point is, Chief Minister in the House has accepted there is a scam. If that is the case, is it not the moral responsibility of the Chief Minister to step down? And that too in a MUDA case where how can he be the judge of how can you be the judge of your own crime? That is why we are telling that they should be handed over to the CBI.
Okay, we will leave it at that. But CBI, IT, ED, etc. is with you, so you can take up that case. Now you can take it up suo moto also.
We will take as many number of steps.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much to all our guests. I'm going to take a break, but let's shift focus to some international stories on the other side of the break. Where up next, any potential ceasefire deal amid this ongoing Hamas-Israel war, it stands on a razor's edge. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu spoke to the US Congress last night. He reiterated his stand of total annihilation of Hamas. He called on the United States to stand with Israel. This comes even as Joe Biden has exited the race in the US presidential election. We decode whether Biden exiting from the campaign for a second term will only embolden Netanyahu in his military offensive in the Gaza Strip. That's right after this quick break.
The situation of rains in not only Mumbai but various parts of Maharashtra as of now. Of course, heavy rains continue in most of the parts of the state. Particularly when you speak of Pune, Mulchi area as well as Baudhan, apart from that Raigad area, is where we've seen waterlogging. In fact, in several places in Pune, waterlogging is there's 2 to 3 feet waterlogging where there are several NDRF teams which have been deployed in and around Pune to rescue people. Apart from that, of course, there are we also see that there is a heavy rain alert for the next 48 hours in the entire state of Maharashtra, in Raigad as well. We see that heavy rains have been experienced, which is where not only Pune but also Raigad, schools in Raigad have also been declared off for today, considering the heavy rains. Yes.
Also, Yesha, what is the situation looking like in Mumbai? Considering a little bit of rain, especially in low-lying areas, really spells a lot of havoc there. It is a trouble for commuters, to say the least. So what is the situation there?
So yes, of course, there's been incessant rains in Mumbai ever since late last night. However, as of now, schools and colleges have been kept. As of now, there's no holiday declared for schools and colleges. But of course, several low-lying areas, like you rightly mentioned, including Andheri subway and several such locations, they've been there is waterlogging that's been experienced, and such subways have been shut. So yes, though we see that when it comes to local trains, it's the lifeline of Mumbai that in fact impacts the most. That impacts the commute most in Mumbai. As of now, those are running well, but when it comes to several low-lying areas, there is waterlogging that's already started in several parts of the city. Yes.
Right, thank you so much for that, Yesha. Let me also take this across to my colleague Vivek Gupta from News18 India, who's with us on the broadcast. Vivek, the situation in Pune and other adjoining areas has really worsened. Orange and red alerts for Navi Mumbai as well. What is it looking like for this entire week, considering there's one more day for the schools to probably be allowed to not function because of the rain? So what are you learning in that regard?
बिल्कुल सही कहा आपने। देखिए, पुणे में कल देर रात से काफ़ी ज़्यादा तेज़ बारिश हो रही है और इतनी ज़्यादा बारिश होने की वजह से पुणे कलेक्टर ने डिसाइड किया है कि सभी स्कूलों को अब पुणे में बंद कर दिया गया है और पुणे डिस्ट्रिक्ट के जितने भी आसपास के इलाके हैं वहाँ पर फ्लडिंग हो रही है। फ्लडिंग की वजह से रोड और घरों तक पूरा तरह से पानी भर चुका है। लोगों को काफ़ी ज़्यादा परेशानी झेलनी पड़ रही है। इसी वजह से अब पुणे कलेक्टर ने एक एडवाइजरी जारी की है और साफ तौर पे कहा है कि पूरे पुणे डिस्ट्रिक्ट में रेड अलर्ट घोषित कर दिया गया है। सभी स्कूलों को बंद कर दिया गया है, जिसके बाद जो भी इमरजेंसी काम ना हो वो अपने घरों से बाहर ना निकलें, क्योंकि सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट बात यह है कि खड़कपासला डैम से 40,000 क्यूसेक पानी को छोड़ा जा रहा है। अगर बारिश इसी तरह कंटिन्यू रही तो पुणे के आसपास के इलाकों में और भी पानी भर सकता है। यही वजह है कि पुणे कलेक्टर ने सभी लोगों से कहा है कि कोई भी जरूरी काम ना हो तो अपने घरों से बाहर ना निकलें, गवर्नमेंट और प्रशासन की हेल्प करें और गवर्नमेंट और जो वहाँ के लोकल म्यूनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन है वो अपनी पूरी कोशिश कर रहे हैं जो फ्लडिंग एरिया है वहाँ से जल्द पानी को निकाला जा सके। लेकिन अब जो स्थिति है वो ज़्यादा अच्छी नहीं दिख पा रही है। कई इलाकों में खासकर जो लो लाइन इलाके हैं पुणे और पुणे डिस्ट्रिक्ट के, वहाँ पे काफ़ी ज़्यादा पानी भर चुका है। जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि खड़कवासला डैम से 40,000 क्यूसेक पानी छोड़ने की वजह से जो फ्लडिंग है वो और भी होती जा रही है और पूरे पुणे डिस्ट्रिक्ट में रेड अलर्ट घोषित किया गया है।
राइट, ऑल्सो विवेक, क्या मुंबई की अगर बात करें तो क्या स्थिति है और स्पेशली लो लाइंग एरियाज के लिए क्या एडवाइजरी है?
देखिए, अगर खाली मुंबई की बात करें तो सुबह 8 बजे से पहले मुंबई में येलो अलर्ट था, लेकिन कंटिन्यू बारिश होने की वजह से अब जो है वो जो येलो अलर्ट है वो ऑरेंज अलर्ट में कन्वर्ट हो चुका है। और आईएमडी के लोगों का कहना है कि सुबह 10 बजे तक ये येलो अलर्ट होगा। 10 बजे के बाद फिर से मॉनिटरिंग की जाएगी सिचुएशन को, उसके बाद कॉल लिया जाएगा कि ऑरेंज अलर्ट को आगे मॉडिफाई करना है या नहीं। इसी वजह से मुंबई के भी कई इलाकों में बारिश हो रही है, खासकर जो लो लाइन इलाके हैं कुर्ला, चेंबूर, विक्रोली, घाटकोपर, इन जगहों पर वो वाटर लॉगिंग की थोड़ी जो शिकायतें वो आ रही हैं। लेकिन
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu comes calling to Washington, which has just been hit by a political ticking time bomb after the withdrawal of President Joe Biden as his party's nominee in the upcoming presidential election. President Biden, who announced the end of his re-election bid, which was timed with the eve of Netanyahu's arrival. This could also mark a pivotal moment in Israel's war against Hamas and the White House's rather troubled relationship with Netanyahu since this war began. Biden has been blowing hot and blowing cold at his old friend Bibi, at once championing Israel's right to defend itself and wage war against Hamas, and at the same time chiding Netanyahu for targeting civilians. Immediately after Biden's announcement, a person familiar with deliberations in Netanyahu's office said it was too early to say how this trip might be affected. It is the chaos of the presidential race that has taken over events in Washington. How the fast-shifting political winds in America could embolden Benjamin Netanyahu at a crucial time in the ceasefire negotiations. How Biden's withdrawal could be the final blow in any potential ceasefire deal. US-backed talks in Cairo are reportedly gaining momentum, with the administration pressing a reluctant Netanyahu to accept a deal that would end the fighting in exchange for release of more than 100 Israeli hostages. Netanyahu has been accused by critics of prolonging this war for his own political benefit. That is a charge that he denies. He remains adamant that Israel must fight until Hamas has been destroyed. Now, that is a goal that his own generals have said is pretty much unachievable. Officially, Netanyahu is neutral in American politics, but he has long been criticized for aligning himself with the Republicans. He's made no secret of his delight with Donald Trump, who tilted US foreign policy significantly in favor of the Israeli right during his term as president. Trump moved the US embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. He also recognized Israel's annexation of the Golan Heights. Netanyahu's tense relationship with Biden has deteriorated greatly in recent months. Israel has defied numerous White House appeals to increase the flow of humanitarian aid into Gaza and to do more to protect civilians. The administration put on hold 2,000-pound bombs that it was supposed to sell to Israel back in May because of their use in populated areas. More than 38,000 Palestinians have been killed in this war. According to the Gaza Health Ministry, a majority of the dead are women and children. Some of Netanyahu's allies had begun cheering Donald Trump more explicitly, framing the ceasefire talks as a partisan issue. Itamar Ben-Gvir, who's Netanyahu's far-right national security minister and on whose party Netanyahu's coalition depends, warned colleagues last week that approving a hostage deal would be a slap for Trump and would be a victory for Biden. Any agreement, he insisted, should wait until November. Some political observers say that Biden's eroding position in recent weeks has already begun to free Netanyahu's hand in Gaza. Michael Oren is a former Israeli ambassador to Washington. He says US pressure on Israel to rein in its military campaign has significantly eased in recent weeks. The administration has offered little public criticism of the escalating attacks you're seeing in areas that are packed with civilians, including the one last week of Mawasi, which is an area designated by Israel as a humanitarian zone. Massive strikes in Mawasi and surrounding regions last week targeting senior Hamas leader Mohammed Deif killed at least 90 people. And there is no confirmation yet, a week on whether the intended target, Deif, has survived or perished in these attacks. Biden's team has backed off in part because of signs that the attacks are making Hamas more amenable to a deal. And because what the president really needs right now is a diplomatic win, showing that he can achieve big things internationally before he demits office in January next year. The president's mounting problems have coincided with a hardening of the prime minister's position. Netanyahu recently came forward with last-minute demands that could stymie the talks that are happening in Cairo. Under these new conditions, Israel would not agree to withdraw its forces from the Philadelphia corridor that's along the Egyptian border. Israel would also not allow unrestricted access for Gazans who are seeking to return to their homes in the north. Israel insists that its forces be permitted to establish checkpoints to monitor the movement of the displaced. The fact that Netanyahu put these conditions out so publicly means that he feels more confident. Netanyahu was certainly paying close attention to the churning within the US political campaign. Everyone recognizes that Biden is weak, and right now a weak Biden is good for a strong BB. Netanyahu was far more focused on his own political challenges domestically. The Prime Minister is squeezed between the Israeli public, who are increasingly angry at his failure to reach a hostage deal, and then there are his far right-wing coalition partners who are threatening to bring down the government if he agrees to stop fighting. 8 members of Netanyahu's Likud party, which is his own political party, went public in recent days with a list of red lines that they could not support in any deal. And that includes Israel's withdrawal from central Gaza and its withdrawal from the Egyptian border. Netanyahu will be feverishly working to keep his coalition partners in line until at least the 28th of July, when Israel's parliament begins a 3-month recess. So the next few weeks are going to be crucial. Right now, the pressure on the Israeli government is far more from inside than the pressure that is from outside. Before Biden's move, Netanyahu had no plans to seek a meeting with Donald Trump while he was visiting Washington, or even with Vice President Harris, whom Biden quickly endorsed to take his place at the top of the ticket. The Prime Minister was fully aware that no matter the outcome of the election in November, Israel would be dealing with Biden for at least the remainder of this term. Netanyahu is likely to be on his best bipartisan behavior during this visit, unlike his controversial address to the US Congress back in 2015. At that time, at the invitation of the Republicans, Netanyahu had slammed Barack Obama's Iran nuclear deal. Unlike now, That dust-up occurred just weeks before an Israeli election and was designated for domestic political consumption. It's a totally different situation now. Netanyahu needs President Biden every single day, at least in November, perhaps even till January when he demits office. While many Democrats remain bitter over Netanyahu's 2015 trip and scores of them plan on boycotting his address, Netanyahu will be in Washington at the peak of partisan frenzy. Between the two-party conventions, Republican and Democrat, the Democrats will also be scrambling to figure out their next steps as to who will replace Joe Biden. US officials confided that they were nervous about Netanyahu's visit at such a volatile time. They were worried that he may say or do something that scuttles weeks of hard-fought diplomacy.
तो ऑरेंज अलर्ट है। जो सबब की बात करें तो मिलन सबवे, अंधेरी सबवे, खार सबवे को बंद कर दिया गया है क्योंकि इस पूरे सबवे में पानी भर चुका है और यही कोशिश की जा रही है कि जो बीएमसी ने मानसून से पहले जो तैयारियां की थी, हर जगह वाटर पंप लगाए गए हैं, उन सभी वाटर पंप के जरिए से पानी को निकाला जाए। लेकिन ऑरेंज अलर्ट होने के बावजूद भी मुंबई और आसपास के इलाकों में तेज बारिश हो रही है। नवी मुंबई और थाने, इन दोनों डिस्ट्रिक्ट को रेड अलर्ट में रखा गया है। वहां पर भी बहुत ज्यादा तेज बारिश हो रही है कल रात से।
Right, thank you so much for that, Vivek. And on that note, we are slipping into a very short break, coming right back. Now getting some breaking news from Maharashtra. Schools in Pune, Pimpri, Chindwara and nearby areas have been shut today as rains batter the region. Besides Pune city, the order to shut schools also applies for Pimpri, Chindwara, Bor, Vele, Mawal, Mulshi and other areas of Maharashtra. In fact, the Met Department has issued an orange alert for Mumbai and Palghar, and there has been a red alert that's been issued for Navi Mumbai and Thane. My colleague Yesha has more details. Yesha, what is the situation of the rainfall in the region? And now that we see orange and red alert in various places in Maharashtra, what is it looking like for not just the schools being shut, but also for general colleges and offices that will be allowed to function?
So when you speak of the situation of rains in not only Mumbai but various parts of Maharashtra, as of now, of course, heavy rains continue in most of the parts of the state. Particularly when you speak of Pune, Mulshi area as well as Baudhan, apart from that Raigad area, is where we've seen waterlogging. In fact, in several places in Pune, waterlogging is there's 2 to 3 feet waterlogging where there are several NDRF teams which have been deployed in and around Pune to rescue people. Apart from that, of course, there are we also see that there is a heavy rain alert for the next 48 hours in the entire state of Maharashtra. In Raigad as well, we see that heavy rains have been experienced, which is where not only Pune but also Raigad, schools in Raigad have also been declared off for today, considering the heavy rains. Yes.
Also, Yesha, what is the situation looking like in Mumbai? Considering a little bit of rain, especially in low-lying areas, really spells a lot of havoc there. It is a trouble for commuters, to say the least. So what is the situation there?
So yes, of course, there's been incessant rains in Mumbai ever since late last night. However, as of now, schools and colleges have been kept. As of now, there's no holiday declared for schools and colleges. But of course, several low-lying areas, like you rightly mentioned, including Andheri, Subway, and several such locations, they've been there is waterlogging that's been experienced, and such subways have been shut. So yes, though we see that when it comes to local trains, it's the lifeline of Mumbai. That in fact impacts the most. That impacts the commute most in Mumbai. As of now, those are running well, but when it comes to several low-lying areas, there is waterlogging that's already started in several parts of the city. Yes.
Right, thank you so much for that, Yesha. Let me also take this across to my colleague Vivek Gupta from News 18 India, who's with us on the broadcast. Vivek, the situation in Pune and other adjoining areas has really worsened. Orange and red alerts for Navi Mumbai as well. What is it looking like for this entire week, considering there's one more day for the schools to probably be allowed to not function because of the rain? So what are you learning in that regard?
बिल्कुल सही कहा आपने। देखिए पुणे में कल देर रात से काफ़ी ज़्यादा तेज़ बारिश हो रही है और इतनी ज़्यादा बारिश होने की वजह से पुणे कलेक्टर ने डिसाइड किया है कि सभी स्कूलों को अब इस पुणे में बंद कर दिया गया है और पुणे डिस्ट्रिक्ट के जितने भी आसपास के इलाके हैं वहाँ पर फ्लडिंग हो रही है। फ्लडिंग की वजह से रोड और घरों तक पूरा तरह से पानी भर चुका है। लोगों को काफ़ी ज़्यादा परेशानी झेलनी पड़ रही है। इसी वजह से अब पुणे कलेक्टर ने एक एडवाइजरी जारी की है और साफ तौर पे कहा है कि पूरे पुणे डिस्ट्रिक्ट में रेड अलर्ट घोषित कर दिया गया है। सभी स्कूलों को बंद कर दिया गया है, जिसके बाद जो भी इमरजेंसी काम ना हो वो अपने घरों से बाहर ना निकलें, क्योंकि सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट बात यह है कि खड़क पासला डैम से 40,000 क्यूसेक पानी को छोड़ा जा रहा है। अगर बारिश इसी तरह कंटिन्यू रही तो पुणे के आसपास के इलाकों में और भी पानी भर सकता है। यही वजह है कि पुणे कलेक्टर ने सभी लोगों से कहा है कि कोई भी जरूरी काम ना हो तो अपने घरों से बाहर ना निकलें, गवर्नमेंट और प्रशासन की हेल्प करें और गवर्नमेंट और
Hello, Namaskar. This is First Post and you're watching Vantage with me, Palki Sharma. We start with the world of business. There's been a meltdown on Wall Street. They lost $1 trillion in a day, the worst day in 2 years, thanks to the much-hyped AI stocks, artificial intelligence. Investors fear it's a bubble, and this is making tech giants bleed. We'll tell you what all of this means. Also in the US, Joe Biden has made his first speech after pulling out of the presidential race, and it's triggered conspiracy theories on him looking